We all have coworkers who you work with and you think, are you just weird, or are you jealous of me, or are you insecure? In this video, we're going to talk about what are the signs of a jealous coworker, how can you identify them, and what do you do if they're feeling insecure about you or your work. Now, before I jump into the signs, I just want to say, if you're noticing a lot of these signs, it is not your job to make a jealous coworker feel secure in their own ability to complete their job or whatever. Your role is to make sure that you are doing the best that you can and creating fulfillment in your role. If you've noticed that someone is jealous of you, the best thing that you can do is try to extend an olive branch to make them feel less insecure. But I wanted to just have that up front to get that out of the way. It is not your job to make an insecure coworker feel secure. The first sign that you might see is they try to get you in trouble. Now, sometimes coworkers will get you in trouble accidentally. They might just say something to your supervisor or a team leader, for example, that puts you in hot water accidentally, or they say something that might be confusing or against the grain or whatever. If you notice that a particular coworker is constantly putting you in this like kind of weird, negative, troublesome light, even if you haven't done anything wrong, something as basic as saying, oh, I saw that so-and-so did this incorrectly, or so-and-so did, if they try to undermine you continually, they try to get you in trouble, that's sign number one. Number two, they refuse to help you when you need it. The thing with this is not every coworker is going to be your friend, not every coworker is going to be friendly towards you, but if you've noticed that someone, every single time that it is part of someone's job to help you, or it is part of their role to assist you, so let's say you are working on one part of the workflow and they are responsible for the second part of the workflow, if you've noticed that there is an intentional gap between when you are supposed to hand it off and when they're supposed to pick it up, or all of a sudden there's communication issues or they're confused and they refuse to help you when you need it, that is a very strong sign that a coworker is jealous of you. Number three, they spread a lot of rumors about you. This one's pretty straightforward. If you can track back, if you notice that a lot of rumors are starting to pop up about you, and you go back and track where are those rumors coming from, who's spreading them, who's talking about them, and that's really easy to see depending on who that person's network is. For example, if there's one person in a different department and you notice that that entire department is starting to talk about you, or you have a negative reputation with that department, it's pretty obvious that the person that you work with, or the person that you're supposed to work with, is really jealous of you and is spreading negative rumors about you. Number four, they're starting to act like they're better than everyone else in the company, their boss, you, etc. Not every jealous coworker needs to be targeting you directly. If you've noticed that a jealous coworker or a coworker is starting to preach that they are smarter than everyone, that they know better, that if they were in charge, they would do it differently, and you start to talk to them as someone, employed at your organization, and you're saying, hey, we should really be thinking as a team, or you want to work together on this or whatever, and they're just like, no, this is below me, this is below my pay grade. It's a good indicator that someone is jealous or insecure, especially if they are coming to you and making sure that you know that they are above you in terms of their talent and their skill level, because normal people don't do that. Number five, you notice that they're always annoyed or mad at you or something that you've done. I've had this personal experience where I had a coworker who was constantly angry or upset or whatever, enraged by what I was working on or what I was doing because it was incorrect, it wasn't the right process, all of these things. And some of that might be true, you might be doing some things incorrectly, but on the whole, if you're finding that this person is constantly outraged or constantly mad or is directing a lot of anger at your direction, that's a pretty good sign that that person is jealous of you. Number six, this person's body language changes when they're around you. This is pretty evident. A lot of the communication that we do as professionals in the workplace, just generally speaking, a lot of how you can determine someone's emotion is by looking at their body language, mostly because people have subtle tics or subtle signs, physical attributes that you can tell, or you can notice that their body language has changed because of you entering the room. So for example, if you've noticed that they are turning their back towards you, or they're not, facing you front on, if they kind of have hunched shoulders, if there's a lot of facial kind of tics that you can notice. So if you've seen that their body language has changed because of you entering the room, it's a good indicator that that person is jealous of you. Number seven, they're constantly checking your social media channels. If you have seen that this person is either commenting on your social posts, like either physically on the platform or just saying, oh, I saw that you had a trip to I saw you had a trip to Italy last week. How was that? If you notice that this person is checking your social media platforms in addition to all these other signs if they're kind of compiled. If you have a friend at the office who's checking your social media profiles, it's not a huge sign, but if this is an individual who you've had tension with in the past and they are checking your social media channels, that's a sign that someone's jealous of you. Because if let's say as an example, if I am very upset with you as a professional, I don't want to see any of your stuff because I get annoyed at seeing your stuff. But if I wanted to be keeping tabs on you or making sure that I know everything that's kind of going on with you, I would make sure to be checking your social media channels to make sure that I'm keeping track of what you're doing, but not because it's a beneficial task for me, it's because I'm jealous. So that would be an example of another sign from a jealous coworker. Number 8, they are always making you feel bad about your accomplishments. If you have done something phenomenal, if you've completed a project, if you showed up to work and you were able to get the things off your to-do list, any kind of accomplishment that you can do, if you feel like you did a really good job or you feel like you did something well, and this person is always there to remind you that you could have done it better, that you should have done it this way, that they could have done it better, whatever, that's a really good sign that that person's jealous of you. Because usually a coworker who is, let's say, neutral about you, if you've accomplished something, they might say, oh, good job, or they just won't respond at all. A coworker who's, let's say, friendly to you would say, hey, let's go grab a coffee, let's go celebrate, whatever. And someone who has a negative impression towards you or someone who's jealous of you will make sure that you know that they don't care about your accomplishment. Any combination of these signs that I've just listed are really critical for understanding if a coworker is jealous of you. There might be some underlying, why a coworker might be undermined by you or things like that. So check out this video that I have talking about why someone is undermined by you, the types of underminers, things like that. And with that, I will see you on the next one.